I'm 21 years old and I've made over $18,000 in a single month before. Now, I don't say that to gloat, but I say that to show you that it hasn't always been like that. When I was 19 years old, I was working at a hotel making less than £1,000 a month, living with my parents. And within the space of 18 months, I managed to get to a point where I was consistently making over 5 figures a month. And in this video today, I want to break down to you exactly the mindset shifts and the things I had to overcome to allow myself to get into that position where I could make the money that I wanted to, travel the world, and do all the things that I wanted. So the first thing and the most important thing, in my opinion, is that you need to stop asking for permission, right? And I know that sounds really obvious, and you're probably thinking, who asked for permission from who? Like, what are you talking about? But the biggest thing that I see is people ask the people around them for advice on things that they want to do. But the big problem with that is a lot of the people who live around you, whether that's your parents or your friends or, I don't know, your peers, your mates from school, is that these people are different to you. They have different goals, right? So if you are constantly asking for permission and leaning on them for your decisions, then they're going to give you their opinion, but it means nothing because they're giving advice on a life that's not theirs. You need yourself, and this is what I needed to do. I was massively unconfident, right? I looked confident on the outside, but I was always overthinking decisions, always unsure on things. What you need to do is you need to write down what you want, right? My advice to you is write down what you want. What do you want out of your life? What's the life that you want to be living? Now, look at the people who you're asking for advice. Are they living a life that you want? Does it match up? Does your life match up with theirs? Right? Do their goals match up with yours? And if they don't, then you really need to reconsider who you're asking for advice. Because again, if you take advice from someone who's living a life you don't want to, then you are going to end up living their life, right? Because by default, you are going to be making decisions through their mind, right? And again, they want different things to you. So you have to be super, super careful who you're asking advice from. And the second part of that is the permission, right? And if you're someone who is always asking for permission, you're always trying to not rock the boat. And again, I used to be like this myself. You're always, I don't want to upset someone. I don't want to do this. I don't want this decision to go wrong. I don't want to stir the pot at all. Then you need to get that out of your system straight away because you're going to have to stir the pot. If you want to do something different, if you want to live a different life to other people, then you're going to have to rock the boat a bit. And people probably aren't going to like the things you're doing. And that's okay. Right? I've had plenty of people who have taken the piss out of me for what I'm doing, who have doubted me for what I was doing, who told me I was an idiot for what I was doing. But that's a clear sign that you're doing something right. So stop asking for permission and just do it anyway. Right? And I'll give you an example of this, and that happened in my life. I learned sales, right? Online sales is the way that I've managed to make the money I have. When I first started, I invested into a mentor. At the time, I had basically no money saved, right? I had about £1,000 in savings and I signed up to a program that was $3,000, right? So I didn't even have enough money to pay for the whole program up front. I was very close to asking my mum about it and saying to her, what do you think? Do you feel like I should do this? But in my head, I knew what her answer was going to be. I knew she was going to tell me I was an idiot. It was online guru. It's a scammer. It's not going to work. I knew that she was going to say that. So I didn't tell her, right? I invested the money anyway. Was I shit scared? 100%. Was I worried that she was going to get really angry if she found out? Yes. But if I had spoken to my mum and I had asked her, she would have convinced me not to do it, right? I would have asked for that permission. She would have said no. I never would have taken the action. I would never be where I am now. I wouldn't be making this money that I am now if I hadn't have made that decision, right? And I hadn't have just ignored that, not asked for permission and done it anyway. So stop asking for permission. If worst comes to worst, you can always ask for forgiveness. It's better not to ask for permission and to beg for forgiveness, right? It's a pretty well-known quote and it's so, so true. Just do what you want to do. Stop listening to other people. Right, that's my first thing. Second thing, and this naturally leads into it. If you do what everyone else does, you're going to get the same result as everyone else. And this is such a hard one to overcome. And I even find myself now, 2 years down the line, still having to remind myself of this, is that if you do what everyone else does, you're going to get the same result as everyone else. And that result, sorry to tell you, you're not going to like it. Right, the average American, and I know I'm British and you might be British watching this, but the average American, right, is overweight, obese, not just overweight, they're obese, they're depressed, right, and they have less than $1,000 in their bank account. That is the average. AKA, if you do what everyone else does, that's the result that you're going to get. By default, that is the average result. And when I found that out, that scared the shit out of me. And I began to realize, holy shit, if I keep doing what everyone else does, that is going to be my default. That's what my life is going to look like. So you need this reality check. And you need to realize if you do what everyone else does, that's the potential result you're going to get. And look, it may not be as extreme as that, but the point still stands that it's probably not going to be what you want. Right? It's probably not going to be the life that you want to live, right? Which again leads back. You need to know what life you want. You need to know the life that you want to live before you do any of this. But again, that's super important. If naturally as humans, we have the herd mentality. We don't like doing things differently. We like to do what everyone else does. We like to conform. We don't like to rock the boat, as I was saying earlier. We don't like to go down an untrodden path. But you need to do that, right? Making 10K a month at 20 is not normal, right? What I have done is not normal by any stretch of the imagination, right? And when I tell people, when I speak with my friends' parents about it and they see the money that I'm making, most of them think I'm full of shit. Most of them don't believe me. And to be honest, I don't care. But the point stands that I had to go down a different path. In order to get that result, I had to do something different to other people, right? And in my head, I was realizing, and again, this might, maybe it's similar for you, it might be something completely different, but I realized, okay, if I go to uni and I get this business degree and, I go to London and I get this corporate job, then I'm probably going to, a lot of people do that and I'm going to get a similar result. So what do I need to do? I need to do something different. So I realized, okay, not a lot of people are investing into online mentors or coaches. Not many people were going straight out of school into high ticket sales and trying to make money online. So I thought, fuck it, I'm just going to do this and I'm going to give this a go. No one around me was doing it, but that's a clear cut sign that you're doing something right. If no one is doing what you're doing, then you are doing something right. And it might not feel like that at the time. I promise you, it won't feel like that. You're going to be thinking in your head, fuck, everyone else is doing this thing. Maybe I should just do that. Maybe I should just conform with them. But the clear-cut sign that you're doing something right is that you're doing something different to everyone else around you. Because again, that then means you're going to get a different result to them. You're going to then get the uncommon result, right? If you want the uncommon result, you have to make the uncommon decisions that most people aren't willing to take, right? So please what's the word I'm looking for here? Take comfort in the fact that no one is doing what you're doing, because that means you are on a clear-cut path to getting a result that no one else has. And that is something that I wish I told myself sooner. And that's something that you need to tell yourself, right? If you want to go down a different path and you want a different result, then you need to make different decisions to other people to then, by default, get a different result. And that is so, so important to know that. Right. So that is the second thing. Third thing is that absolutely no one is coming to save you. And I know this sounds like, oh, David Goggins, David Goggins-esque kind of advice, but it's so true. No one's coming to save you. You watching this right now have to figure this out on your own. Your mum and dad aren't going to help you. Your brother's not going to help you. Your friends aren't going to help you. Everyone else is too wrapped up in their own lives. You have to sort this out yourself. Whatever you want to achieve, right? And again, you probably want to achieve something big. If you're watching this video on how to overcome self-doubt, right, and you're young, then the chances are that you want to achieve something big. You wouldn't be watching this video otherwise. You wouldn't be 9 minutes into this video, right? So I'm telling you now, no one's coming to save you. You have to figure this shit out on your own, right? You need to go out there. You need to do your research. You need to put in the work. You need to get up those early mornings to put in the work. You're the one who's going to have to push through that self-doubt, because I promise you, there's going to be days where you don't want to get up. There's going to be days where you don't want to put in the work. I still get them now. I had them when I started as well. So it's really, really important that you realize in your head, this is all on me. And look, that's scary. It's scary. It's a scary thing knowing that everything's on you, but it's also very liberating, because it means all the work that you put in, the output's coming directly for you, right? You put in the inputs, you're going to get the outputs, right? So please realize, and again, it might sound harsh and it might sound, might not be what you want to hear, but no one's coming to save you. Absolutely no one, right? And that naturally leads into the next point, which is you need to consider opportunity cost. There is a cost to absolutely everything that you do, right? Good and bad. If I go out tonight and I go to the pub and I drink 15 pints of beer, right? What's the opportunity cost of that? I'm probably going to have a pretty good time, right? I'm going to see some mates. It's going to be fun, right? Happy days. But what's the opportunity cost of that further down the line? I'm going to wake up tomorrow extremely hungover. I'm probably not going to put the work in that I need to for Tuesday, right? Because it's Monday today. So tomorrow, I'm not going to put in the work that I planned out. That's then going to cascade into Wednesday. I'm going to have way more work on Wednesday. I'm still going to be tired from Monday night going to the pub. Like there's a cascade, there's an opportunity, there's costs to everything that you do, right? And it's the same with big decisions as well, right? Think about this. My opportunity cost was go to uni, study a degree, then get a job in London, or I could try something different and try and make money online to allow me to travel the world, which is what I wanted to do. There was a cost to each of those, right? I chose this path, but there were costs to this path. Yes, I've done really well and I've made good money and I've been able to travel, but I've also missed out on university. I've missed out on having friends at uni, playing rugby and football at uni, which I wanted to do, meeting new people, potentially meeting, I don't know, maybe a new girlfriend, maybe, I don't know, a whole other group of friends. But that was a cost I was willing to endure. I was okay to miss out on this by doing this. So you need to ask yourself that question, right? Yes, I'm going to do this thing, but what am I going to miss out on? And am I okay? Am I all right with missing out on that? And for me, I was completely okay with it, right? Which is why I took that action. So consider the options and go, if I do this, what am I missing out on? And am I okay to miss out on that? But realize that there's an opportunity cost for everything that you do, right? Again, there's not people at uni who are making 10K a month. Why? Because they went to uni and they're studying a degree and they're going out and getting drunk all the time and having fun with their friends. And I'm not saying that that's the wrong decision, but I'm just saying if you do that, then the chances are you're probably not going to be able to make 10K a month online and travel the world. So you have to weigh up your options and you have to go and realize there's a cost to absolutely everything that I'm doing, right? And what are the costs that I'm willing to endure? What are the things where I'm going to go, you know what? Yes, I would like to do that, but I'm okay with missing out on it. Look, if I wanted to, I'd fucking go to the pub right now and get absolutely hammered with all my mates, right? If there was no cost, then I would do that, but there is a cost. So you need to consider your costs with everything. And again, that really leads back to the fact that absolutely no one's coming to save you. So you need to think about these decisions that you're making. And finally, is get fucking uncomfortable. And I've written this here in capital letters. Get uncomfortable. Nothing good happens when you're comfortable. Where do you grow? Do you grow when you're comfortable or when you're uncomfortable? And I know that's the cheesiest thing ever, but it's so, so true. You have to get uncomfortable in anything that you do. Every time I've got uncomfortable, good things have come from it, right? Even if I've ended up failing, even if I've invested into something and it hasn't gone so well, I've learned from absolutely all of them. There's a positive to everything. And if you want the result that most people don't have, if you want to make 5 figures a month in your 20s, most people don't do that, then you're going to have to do things that other people aren't willing to do. And that's going to be uncomfortable. But embrace that discomfort, embrace the uncomfortability. It's okay to be uncomfortable, right? Your brain is going to be telling you, what are you doing? You shouldn't be doing this. It's going to be panic stations. It's going to be trying to convince you every which way not to do it, whatever it is that you're looking to do. For me, it was investing in a mentor. It was trying this online thing, trying to make money. There was such a big part of me which was telling me not to do it. It was telling me to go to uni. It was telling me to do the normal route. But you have to ignore it. You have to get uncomfortable and you have to be willing to go, right, I'm going to jump into this head first. I have no fucking idea whether this is going to work or not, but I'm going to do it anyway. And it's easier said than done. I'm telling you, it's so much easier said than done. And you're going to have these throughout your life. You're going to have these throughout your journey with whatever you're doing. I'm 21. I'm almost 22. I'm still young in this. I'm going to have plenty more of these discomfort stages in my life where I either have to choose to be comfortable or uncomfortable. They're always going to come. They come every single day in your life. But you have to realize that choosing the uncomfortable route is by far the best thing you can do, because you will learn so much when you get uncomfortable, when you burn the boats, when you have no other option. That is when you get the best results. I'm telling you now, I swear to you, that is when you get the best results. And I've seen it in my own life. I wouldn't be where I am now if I didn't get uncomfortable. right? And I didn't do things that most people won't do, right? So please realize that if you're doing something and you feel uncomfortable and you feel like things aren't going to work and you're constantly worrying and you can't sleep at night and you're waking up and you're thinking, fuck, what am I doing? Is this going to work? Then you're doing something right. I'm telling you, you're doing something right. Because what's the other option? You live comfortably every day. You know what's coming. Do you really want to live a life like that? If you do, then fair enough. But I did not. Right. That is everything. Those are my points. Just to recap, stop seeking permission, start taking action. Don't ask for permission from other people. Do what you want to do. Know what you want, right? When you know what you want, you don't ask for permission from other people. Secondly, do not do what everyone else does. If you do what everyone else does, you're going to get the same result as everyone else, which isn't going to be a good thing. No one's coming to save you. No one is coming to save you. Your parents, your friends, no one. It's all on you. That's scary, but it's also very, very liberating. Fourth, opportunity costs. Whatever action you do, there's going to be a cost to it. So realize, am I willing to embrace that cost? And if you are, then do it anyway. Realize that there's always going to be negatives to whatever you do. There's always going to be a cost, and that's okay. And finally, get fucking uncomfortable. Do things that scare you. And I promise you, if you do that, then you will get incredible results. I hope that was useful. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.